Today we are speaking about what is a consent mode, what is a proper cookie banner, and what are cookie banners, and what every website owner must know. What we will cover today? We will cover the difference between old and new banners. So what really changed, technically speaking, what is a compliant banner, and what a compliant banner must do. So what a compliant banner has to properly track in the user behavior and not track in the user behavior. So what is really a consent mode? What kind of technical and marketing implications has on the user behavior? What kind of technical implications have consent mode on the user behavior? Then how to check if our consent mode and our cookie banner are really working. Then we will control the data gaps and the AI modeling. So how to fill the gap about the data, because some cookies will be, of course, refused, and how the AI modeling will take control of the situation, tracking everything properly in the best possible way, allowing our digital strategy to perform better. So, why this matters for our digital strategy? First chapter about old banners and new compliant banners. What is the difference between a non-compliant and a new compliant banner? The old non-compliant banner usually has only a button texted with OK or X or I agree. Clicking the X or the OK or the I agree, I still save cookies. So then there is not a real user choice. With a new compliant cookie banner, I have to allow the user choice about accept all the cookies, decline all the cookies, add the customization. Customization means that the user can still decide what kind of cookies to allow us to track and what kind of cookies to not allow us to track. And this is following the GDPR requirements because there is a truly full control from the user perspective. We have, for example, a cookie banner that is compliant against a cookie banner that is not compliant. The left side, we have a cookie banner that is not compliant. We have a green button, accept, and cookie policies is basically clicking on the cookie policy web page. While accept and reject all, this is basically an opt-in, opt-out that is mostly used for American market, but instead of cookie policy, we should have personalized. If we are accepting the cookies, everything will be green, so we will be able to accept all the cookies. If the user is accepting all the cookies, we will be able to track all the user behavior on the website. If the user will decline all the cookies, the user say no. So basically we have only the necessary cookies and temporary. We cannot track anything. If the client is choosing what kind of cookies to be tracked, it is allowing, for example, analytics and essentials, but not ads. So the cookie banner is going to track analytics, essentials, but not the real ads. So the so-called remarketing activities are not allowed. And here we see how is the situation. If I am going to necessary, great, I have temporary cookies. If I am going to functional, I have some more further cookies, but still I cannot track the user behavior totally on my website. Performance is going, for example, to the location, demographics, and user interests. And advertising, of course, is tracking everything that is concerning with his choice in order to have a remarketing activity on his behavior. So what is exactly the consent mode? Consent mode is a system, tracking system, that is telling to Google tools whether a user is agreeing or not to the cookies. Typically, for the law, he has to be all in denied since the beginning. Then, if the user is agreeing in tracking the cookies, then Google tools are tracking everything that is the user is making on the website. Every page is visiting, every button is clicking. If the user is denying all the cookies or part of cookies, for example, remarketing cookies, the consent mode is blocking partially the user behavior on our website. So basically, we cannot track everything, but only the minimum of his behavior. How to check if the setup really works on our website? In this case, we can use the Google Tag Manager preview mode. It's a free tool of Google that is usually used to track all the events, all the conversions that are going to use that are showing the user behavior. How to do it? We are opening our website and we are clicking the preview in GTM. So we are opening and launching the preview of our Google Tag Manager. We are not accepting the cookie banner as a beginning. So we are checking if all the tags are blocked in advance. If they are not blocked in advance, we have also to work on the block. Then, once everything in advance is solved, we are going to accept, meaning the user is accepting all the cookies, so it's allowing us all the possible cookies to track. So also advertising cookies and user behavior, deep user behavior. If we are clicking decline all, the cookies has to be blocked again. One important thing, the user can decide to block or unlock the cookies during his navigation. So to recap, if the tags are firing before the consent, the setup is not working, or at least is working, but is not compliant. If the tags are firing after the consent, so yes, the tags are working and we are compliant. So how to see a direct example of our user behavior? The direct example is described in the data gap problem. We saw before that people can deny our cookies. Let's put the case that 60% of the people that are coming to our website is accepting the cookies. So we have green, luckily, meaning that the 40% of these users are declining the cookies, so they are refusing it. Now, what is meaning? It means that 60% of data we can see. So we can see only the 60% of the data. We have a 40% of missing data. This gap has to involve the AI modeling. AI modeling means that we are going to 4 basic steps. The user that is accepting the data, so our famous 60% users, are tracked. So they are creating our historical database. They are tracked, they are allowing us so we can track it. The AI modeling of Google estimate the behavior of the 40% of refusals based on our 60% of acceptance. And here is going to the estimated behavior. So even if we have only a 60% of accept all, so cookies allowed, based on this 60%, we are trying to fill the gap of the 40% in order to have 100% user behavior. Part of it is just estimated behavior, but at least we have all the behavior. What is mattering about our digital strategy? So the ads that are based on Google, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. If we have a broken consent mode, we may have a higher CPA because we cannot track properly. So not tracking properly means a high cost per acquisition. Every lead, every sale is costing more because we have less data. So the few data we have are trying to go on the few users we are really tracking. That means for an e-commerce a lower ROAS, lower return on ad spend. So basically not as much revenue as we can. And this only for this reason, only for a lack of tracking activity. This one is leading to a broken smart bidding because the smart bidding is trying to catch user that are interested in our products or services, but based on the lack of AI modeling, so artificial intelligence modeling activity, proper one. With the consent mode, proper tracked consent mode, the modeling is keeping the artificial intelligence informed and efficient, meaning more users to reach, meaning lower cost per acquisition, so the cost per lead or the cost per sales, so improving our return on ad. So the action plan that we have to deep dive inside and to perform is, first of all, checking our cookie banner. Is it really going with the accept, decline, and customize? Yes, great, let's go ahead. No, so we have to insist on it. Meaning, step 2, verifying the consent mode. If it is on or off, so the default state must be off. Then we have to see if the clients, so the users, are accepting or refusing our cookies. How to do it? Testing with a Google Tag Manager preview. So the tags can be fired only after the consent is really given. This one is leading to the enabling of the data modeling. So the data modeling is based on our accepting cookies, and it is modeling on the rest of the denying cookies so that we are not losing opportunities. And this one is going to the monitoring of our ad performance. And it is affecting and impacting directly cost per lead, revenue, and ROAS. That they should stay stable and improving. So basically, the most important key takeaways are the compliant cookie banner is not just a simple law. It's good for your business. The best you are tracking, yes and no, in the sense of allowing cookies and denying cookies, the best data modeling you have, the best digital strategy you can have. The Google consent mode is keeping your ad smart. The data modeling is filling the gaps between accepting cookies and denying cookies, and the Google Tag Manager preview is helping you in understanding where there is the problem.